doesn't mean I can lose something in our time. More than its work. Despite my modern art, I cannot wrinkle bed sheets. Even though Kira likens me to Estali, that soft as I will be abandoned by the snowman. Raisin sour. Avoiding every urge to think of you and feel it. I'll block your channels and still quiver at the thought of it. I'll try replacing you with every single girl like me in the sky.
2002 Mitsubishi Vermont.
Likely slower than the first too many ways ship. Bobby needs old stream, will hover over all of it. I know I saw you in a time, enjoy it, measuring his work. Like a car crash and just can't stop. Naomi told me that casual is okay, so I support you if you wanna have a good lane. That doesn't mean I can lose something in our time. More than its work. Despite my modern art, I cannot wrinkle bed sheets. Even though Kira likens me to Estali, that soft as I will be abandoned by the snowman. Raisin sour. Avoiding every urge to think of you and feel it. I'll block your channels and still quiver at the thought of it. I'll try replacing you with every single girl like me in the sky.
2002 Mitsubishi Vermont.
Likely slower than the first too many ways ship. Bobby needs old stream, will hover over all of it. I know I saw you in a time, enjoy it, measuring his work. Like a car crash and just can't stop. Naomi told me that casual is okay, so I support you if you wanna have a good lane. That doesn't mean I can lose something in our time. More than its work. Despite my modern art, I cannot wrinkle bed sheets. Even though Kira likens me to Estali, that soft as I will be abandoned by the stars. They told me that casual is okay. So I support you if you wanna have a good lane. That doesn't mean you're like conditioning it hurts out your day in Pittsburgh.
Hey everybody. So, I just shredded Dan Avidan's career. Whoops. It's been coming for a while. Alright, DIY gamer shredder. Hang on just a second. I'll go into detail on how this is going to work. I'm going to have to pardon the garbage audio because there is nothing I can do about it tonight. Got a bunch of cool shit I'm excited to try out on stream. However, on this one, none of that will be happening. I got a green screen today. I got a head-mounted thing. We might be able to use this a little bit. Remember the chest harness that was it was really cool. It was really neat. Well, now I got this guy. Goes on my head. Looks just as cool. Not silly at all. So I suppose in just a minute we'll go over what we've got as far as the scanner here goes. Shredder, not scanner. And then we'll tear it down and we'll see what sort of voltage that the motor runs on. If it runs on anything other than 5 volts or 12 volts, we're kind of screwed for tonight. I'm not going to build a circuit that has a relay and everything in it because I don't have relays on hand at the moment, unfortunately. But we do have a backup plan. We have a cassette deck that needs fixing. We also have a CD player that needs fixing, both of which are vintage and not exactly the most common thing on Earth. We'll take a look at fixing both of those if we finish up the shredder kind of early, or level that a little bit, or if the shredder just doesn't work out. We got content either way. Let me... God damn. Y'all ever just be gassy as fuck, dude? So I'm going to finish getting a couple things together really quick, and then we'll get started. I'm also running through how I'm going to explain everything in my brain. It's going to take me a minute. We'll get there. I'm going to put y'all back on idle for just a minute, and I will be back shortly.
Child, always get what I want. No power, so I hurt myself for shock. Living in the woods and hoods, sequestered to a road with my precious goods. Holding back tears for 11 years, wondering why the fuck I've been twisted here. Like a lizard, though you swear it was you. Wrapped around, swear like a slew of madness. Held to the deep and in the grave.
so we're out here. Had to get a couple things together. Had to get a couple of supplies that I didn't have ready. That's my bad. However, I think we're just about ready to start. I'll go over what we're doing here in just a second. Need to get a couple things. There we go. Alright, cool. Everything is mostly situated, and I'm a little less gassy than I was a minute ago. So let's go over what we got. We have this fucking True Red shredder from Staples. And we're going to put RGB lights on the inside of this, towards the top. So that through this little window, when the light turns on, we can kind of see the paper falling. That'd be pretty sick. The thing is, while I would like to get it kind of on this window, kind of on this window so we can see the lights a little bit better, this drawer moves. It is removed from the unit, so I can't do any sort of RGB inside of here. And also, this drawer has to stay sealed, or this guy right here won't let you shred. So, I'll be powering this guy down in just a second. We just saw that it works because I shredded Dan Avidan's career. So, that done, that's a massive pile of work out of the way, am I right? So, we're going to unplug this guy in just a second, start tearing it down. Quick note to Twitch or any fucking authority figures who are afraid for my safety watching. I have gloves. I also have eye protection. And we will be using both alternately as needed. So this is my first tangle with a shredder, or isn't even my first tangle with AC voltage. And hopefully the motor will be DC because it'll make things a whole lot easier. Got my Fluke 115 multimeter, all that cool stuff. We're just going to do some measurements and stuff at first, and then I'll show you how we plan to make this work, depending on which voltage we find. So with that said, I think it's time to unplug this guy and get to work. Okay, nothing really special I have to do to drain the power from this. If the power's not out, we'll know it. You know? Okay, let's get this basket out of here. I'm not going to need that for a while. There's a lot more paper waste in there than I thought there was. And I dumped it before the stream began. I guess something got trapped or something. There we go. Oh, I just shredded something. I shredded Dan Avidan's career. It's a heavy load. I can't really see chat from across the room. Classic moment. Fuck yeah. Okay. So I did a little investigating before I got too far with this idea. And I can see that it looks like we can get this top piece of the shredder off. I'm going to try to bring the camera in kind of close. Alright. Right in there. It's not going to focus very well. You can probably see what I'm talking about. There's two screws right here. I'm thinking we take those out. This is going to get a lot more loose. Right? And then we've got... Hang on a second. There we go. We've clearly got some sort of sensor right here. Photoresistor or something like that. It looks like two LEDs. Or maybe a photoresistor and an IR LED that kind of helps it tell whether or not the drawer's in. We got screws all over this thing. Pretty much, I'm going to move the camera to a manageable spot where it's pointing at what I'm doing. Then I'm going to come over here and focus it, turn on the light on the camera, and we're going to get to it. Just like that. So, skibbity bop. There's that. No, don't rename it. Fuck. Interact, focus, toggle LED. There we go. Hey, hey! Now we can see. Alright. I'm missing that one screwdriver I wanted, but it's okay because I have this other one. I have tons of screwdrivers now. Used to be hurting for them from time to time. It looks like these are all Phillips. Yeah, they're Phillips of varying sizes. I think that's the right size. Yeah, yeah. Alright, so we're going to start by removing this guy. That's a pretty short screw to be holding in a looking shredder motor, but I guess it's top heavy too, right? How's everybody doing? How you doing, chat? How are my friends doing? Are you faring well with the continued scourge of the COVID? Yeah, I think it might be a lot easier to get this thing out of here than I thought. I remember this shredder being very expensive, and I used to think shredders are, just really cheap. Not anymore. Turns out this this shredder cost me like a good, yeah, that's a lot more loose. This shredder cost me a good, I think $80, I want to say. Now here's the thing, when you hear me say that, some people might go like, oh, why are you going to ruin an $80 shredder? I'm not going to go so far that I'm going to ruin it. If we get to a point where we know it's going to be dangerous, it's going to be, overly dangerous. You can see the blades right there, but I'm not going to go near them. If we get to a point where we might ruin the shredder, I'll probably abandon the project and we'll move on to the cassette deck or the CD player. Either one's fine. It's still going to be content. I'm going to try to make it interesting as best I can. So, shredder, the top is loose, but I don't know how we get the rest of it out unless this, I think these handle panels might come out. Let me lift this up. It's going to disrupt your view for a moment, but I have a look around the back. It wants to come out. It really does. Does it matter just brute forcing it? Do I have to just lift it? Do I have to just give it a lift, brother? Or do I have to come at it with a little bit of extra finesse? That's not going to work. That's too thick. Let me get my Jimmy out of my iFixit kit. There we go. That'll help us do something. That actually gets in there. I don't really feel any clips. There's something right here. I think that's just like a stud or something for it to rest on. Yeah, no, there's nothing too crazy. There's another something that's sitting on right there. Should also add this. This Jimmy is not sharp. It's dull, thankfully. Spring steel. While I've got that in there, let me see if it makes it a little easier to. Yeah, kind of. Let me kind of lift this up and dig this in there a little bit. Oh, I can't. It gets really tight when you lift this up. Okay. The back is more loose than the front is, it feels like. Oh, at least from the other side. Spin this around. Hello? Yeah. Yeah, it moves a bit. Just not a whole lot. It's being stopped by something. I feel like if we can loosen up these sides, we'll be good to go. Let me kind of get my face in here. Oh! Oh, wait. This might be way easier than I think it is. There appears to be like some clips sitting right here. And I can't really see how they work. Let me get the light in there a little bit. Yes. Yes. I see. There we go. Okay, so there's a few clips. There's at least two on the front, and I can see. There we go. There we go. Hey! We got it loose. Cool. So that'll free it from the rest of the machine here. And there you can see the danger bits. We're not going to fuck with those if we can. The motor is going to be under this casing here. Again, let me just make sure we're being very specific and deliberate. It is not plugged in. Okay? Cool. Alright, let me get this to a spot where I can work on it. Just going to kind of go like right about... there it should be fine. Let me focus one more time. Speaking of shredding careers, add David Dobrik to the shredder. I can do that. We will inaugurate this RGB shredder by shredding David Dobrik. Fuck that guy. Cody, good. Currently in Panama for the wife's birthday. She wanted to go out to Ripley's and Wonderworks. Fuck yeah, dude. Both of those places are sick. I haven't been to Wonderworks in since I went with a group of friends like near the end of high school. Wild times, man. Let me make sure I'm keeping my my screws together. Actually, I have the perfect thing. Hang on, I have a life hack for y'all. Give me just a moment. Doing okay, Cody. Doing okay. Work is stressful as shit, but we're making it work. Creating a Windows 10 image for the computers we're using. We have a lot of hardware waiting for a new Windows 10 image, and the guy who previously made images, you'll see why I have an ice tray here in just a moment. The guy who previously made our images and maintained a lot of the SCCM stuff that we do is currently out, and we don't know if he's going to be back. And the guy who came before me used to build the images, but he pulled a real asshole move and he wiped his entire computer before he left, leaving me with nothing and nobody else with documentation except for what he stored on the local server, which wasn't much. So I'm essentially looking at a virtual machine that was left behind by the person who may or may not return, who used to set up our images and maintain them. And I'm pretty much just looking at what that reference image has on it and just trying to replicate that in a totally new environment. And I'm just hoping it's going to work. So, if you work on a lot of projects, like I do from time to time, you're going to need a way to compartmentalize parts and screws and stuff. Go down to the dollar store, get yourself a set of ice trays. Comes with 2 ice trays for $1. You take your screws, put them in there. All right. Okay. So let's get our screwdriver in here. We're just going to start doing the thing. We're going to start taking it apart. I also try to graph out where the screws go when I have a compartment like this. Like, I would say that this thing here has about like 6 zones, right? So you can cut it into 6 pieces. Cut a line here, and a line straight across. Top, middle, right, bottom, middle, right. Bottom left, bottom middle, bottom right. You know what I mean. So just took that screw out of the bottom middle. I'm going to use this as my 6 sections to keep my screws in. Because I'm not going to label the ice cube tray. It's a lot of use. I hope you can follow what I'm saying. It's more of a concept that I can put together in my head. And I apologize if I can't exactly make it clear when I speak. I don't have enough caffeine in me. Oh, fuck. Yeah, see, that's a different length screw right there. Isn't it? Is it slightly shorter? No, it's the same size. Okay, never mind. It's just my brain expecting a worse situation than what we've got going for us so far. Unexplored territories from time to time. Yeah, so the RGB shredder, it's an idea that came to me while I was sitting at work. I had just come over to shred some stuff, and I noticed that our huge industrial scanner, I don't remember what brand it is, it has a light in it. So when you start shredding, you get to watch the paper bits fall into the bin. And I'm like, oh man, that's fucking sick, right? Oh god. Wait. Oh, hell yeah. So yeah, I saw that and I was like, man, that's a unnecessary but pretty neat feature, you know? Looks like our cover can be removed any second now, but we're gonna wait just a moment. So I thought that looked really cool. And then I remembered the chief rule with putting lights on anything nowadays. Why not RGB? So I have some RGB strips, and we're gonna try to put them probably across here, not covering these vents, of course. And put them like across here, across there, some more towards the front so it shines down onto that window. And we're gonna light this guy up. We're gonna shred some stuff. All right, let's take this cover off. See what we're working with here. I hope this isn't one of those things where it's just like a, oh, we got another screw. We got a screw under a thing right here. Say no to warranties. Say yes to the right to repair. Ah, that sucks. I think I bought an extended warranty on this, but also, it doesn't really matter. If I can't replace the bits and bobs on this thing, what am I even doing with it, right? Come on. Yeah, I really hope... Oh, yeah, we got our LEDs up here. How are those on there? I bet they're on there with like a wire or some sort of conductor. They are wired, yes. And there's our... Oh, that's a... we might be grounded right out of the gate, y'all. I believe that's an AC motor. Yeah, god damn it. Okay. Alright, let me let you see what I'm seeing. This motor, back here at the back, there you go. See those coils? See those coils? See that block? That's essentially a transformer connected to a motor. I can't really fuck with that. That's straight AC voltage. I'm not playing with wall voltage tonight, y'all. That's unfortunate. I will say, there are a multitude of ways to make this work. None of which I will be able to do on stream. Man. Well, no. No. Let's dig a little further into this guy. I'm going to trace this line here. I don't think there's much we have to do. But what I'll likely do is just unhook these. Yeah, I'm going to unhook those screws there. I'm going to do a little exploring before I say that there's no way we can do this. Because I'm seeing what looks like DC voltage coming out and going to at least part of the motor. Or if it's a circuit that turns on and gives me a set amount of voltage only when the motor is running, we can just use that instead of anything to do with the motor. Also, that... no, that's definitely connected to a gearbox and everything. Okay. Let's get our LEDs out of here. Let's get this hot snot. Dave Jones would be pissed. Voltar would be pissed. I am pissed. I am the piss. You ever just be piss? Holy shit. Okay. That's wired directly in. There's not even a connector for that until you come way over here. Wow. Alright. I'm just going to keep digging under here and try to wrestle this loose. That's some premium hot snot right there. Yeah, we have a couple things we can do if this doesn't work out. No worries. We're doing content tonight. Though unfortunately none of it can be Star Road because we finished Star Road. It's wild to think. I remember starting out that series and being like, man, I might not even get to finish this, you know? Let me find my flush cuts real quick. I think they're on the desk behind me. Or they're somewhere within reach. Better be. There we go. Here's my flush cuts. Let me get that zip tie out of here. Well, I might not have to undo that zip tie just yet. Just trying to get this cable loose. so that I may work with it. God damn. True Red really does love their hot snot, huh? So I can cut through it with a jimmy. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's doing it. To some extent. Sorry you can't exactly see what I'm doing. You may be wondering what music is playing tonight, because it's definitely not Basic Printer. This is Stream Beats by Harris Heller from Alpha Gaming on YouTube. He actually has Stream Beats as his business, pretty much. Songs that are DRM free, won't get you DMCA'd, and you can play them on Twitch. No credit, none of that stuff. You don't have to. It'd be cool if you did, right? I'm going to right now because it's a really cool service to have, especially since it costs you nothing. You don't have to do any setup. You can literally open Spotify on your computer and start playing Stream Beats behind your stream for hours at a time. Never pay a dime to anybody. Harris and the artists get paid just off of streaming revenue, and people use those songs for hours at a time on loop all over the world. Millions of people. So they're doing pretty okay, and all the artists and everybody are getting paid, so it's pretty sick, gotta say. Big Clive would be pissed. Shocked and kind of pissed. Ah! Get out of there. Okay. We're going to wrestle some more with that in just a second. I want to take a look at chat. I got muted, bro. Okay. For a second, I was like, oh. Yeah, good spot behind the warranty void if removed sticker. Fuck yeah. You might see some automated messages in chat. I'm getting a little better with CloudBot. So I have it doing that announcement every once in a while where it tells you to follow me if you're not already. So please do. I'm not exactly looking to be the next Ludwig, but it'd be cool to make a couple dollars hanging out with my friends. And, whoever wants to stop in and have a little chat, have a little cool time. I don't know. I like to have a little space where not everything is terrible and I can just hang out with people. And if I can do that while I'm making content and doing some of the stuff I like to do and get pointers from y'all, much like OctoSir popping in for game time, then I'd love to do that for a while. That's the plan. Alright. There's our hot snot. I can replace that. I have a hot glue gun. Just out of view. Ugh. Yeah. Alright, let's get our screwdriver again. Take this screw out, let those wires out. I'm going to check these wires and make sure I didn't nick any, and if I did, we're going to put some... Damn, that's a long screw. There we go. We're going to put some heat shrink on them, just to make sure. I don't want to expose any wires we don't have to, you know. So, alright, the other thing I can do that I'm seeing... What's this? That's the... Okay, never mind. That's the drawer sensor, looks like. Is that a roller switch? Let me get that under here. What is that? Ah. That's a... Oh, it's a micro switch. Listen to that. Oh, that feels good, huh? Let me close this door again, too. I know that AC unit's kind of loud. There we go. Yeah, before I started stream, it was 74 in here. Fuck all that. Alright, there's the whole shredder unit. That thing is mounted in a piece of metal. It's gross. Got CD bits in there. When you find out that a shredder can shred CDs, you gotta test it, right? Alright, so that's definitely an AC motor, at least to some extent. Because otherwise I would just have the positive and negative and maybe a PWM wire of some kind to control speed or torque. And I don't have that. So these two buttons are for forward and back. On the front, can't really show you because I can't flip the things over, but these two buttons here, they're for forward and back on the shredder. And this button up here, this toggle, if you can hear it, is for the power button. If I could tie... If I could tie the... if I could tie the LEDs into the power button up front, great. Sweet deal. We'll do that. But I don't think it's going to be that easy. We have our sensors here. Seems to be maybe for the drawer, or actually, you know what? This is probably for sensing how much is in the bin and shutting things off when there's too much in the bin. That's probably what that is. Take a look, another look at chat. You just download songs from the YouTube audio library. Told Brittany I wanted to make an industrial hot glue gun to dispense massive amounts of hot glue at a time. Man, if you get this, let me see, which one is it? What is this guy? Yeah, if you get this Shure bonder, this big boy Shure bonder right here, and set it to high, dude, it won't stop dispensing glue. Crazy. You can just crank that lever all day. That trigger, it'll just keep spitting out hot glue. Let me make sure that this motor and everything is oriented properly and that I can get it back in there if we have to remove it. Because I think we're going to have to remove it to get at some of the electrical in here. Yeah. Alright, looks like it just slots back in. Do it slot back in? It appears to, yes. Okay, that's not scary at all. Fuck. Alright, look at the friendly teeth we got in there. That's not a problem at all. So what we'll probably be working with is this board down here, and these connections here specifically. I want to see where they go. That one goes to the micro switch, which is only going to close a circuit, I'm sure. It's not going to have any voltage on it, I don't think. This, of course, has 120 volts at a very angry 60 hertz. That's AC. I don't fuck with wall power. I've been bitten by, 220 from a vent hood before? No thanks. I'm good. Alright, I guess let's flip this guy out of here if we can. Yes, I'm going to do blade side down, probably just for safety reasons. There we go. Let's scoot this guy out of here. Set that right there. Alright. Much harder to get to the blades now, but I have to remember not to reach under it and pick it up. Okay. So now we have our boards and a glob of grease. Let me... Jesus Christ. Oh, no, wait. That's a grommet. Okay. Where does that guy go? I'm going to have to guess that he goes right back where I put him, where I found him. Probably like right there, I'm guessing. That's fine. Okay. Damn, dude. A lot of paper pulp in here. I should also add that this paper pulp is flammable as shit and it's all over the electronics, but it's also probably not conductive. Unless there's a shitload of CD dust in there. Like the one Ben Heck made when he was on Element 14. Yes! Speaking of Ben Heck, I'm more or less a disciple of his. A lot of us are, right? But ribbon cable for soldering small connections, perfect. Best recommendation. I have an electronic copy of his books for hacking game consoles, and I'd like to get a physical copy at some point if I can track one down. I built his NES composite out circuit a while back when I was looking to convert a front loader to a top loader. And it works great. It works an absolute treat. But since then, people have made a few recommendations for changing little things here and there. Let's come in a little bit closer with this and let me focus again. There we go. All right, we're gonna do like a little kind of overarching look at how this thing works. least to some extent, as clear as I can make it. Oh god. And focus. Alright. Welcome back to the Secret Life of Machines. Oh, that's a good fucking program. Okay. So right here, these two, we got what looks like a photoresistor and an LED, which I'm sure is IR. Something like that. Or a photo, not necessarily a photoresistor, but a photo something. Fuck. Can't remember what it is. Get this. Let me get these screws over here. I know what they go to. So I'm going to set those there. Okay. This is what senses the paper when it goes in. And then this right here, this is the connector for the motor. That's going to be our AC going out, looks like. So AC is running through this board as well. We can see it coming in back here. There we go. Here's our wall power plug right there. Comes around here, splits off here. Alright, so right there is a relay, which is engaged right now. And that's our lock on the back. Okay, so that's a physical disconnect for the motor. Check that out. I like that. I don't know if you can see that very well. This this switch on the back of it, when I flip it, engaged, disengaged. So this cuts power to all of it, like right at the source. This is probably the hot line coming in for the wall power. And then it well, brown is brown hot or is it neutral? I want to say brown is hot. Hot brown. Yeah, so this right here, as long as it's open, there's no power going anywhere in this board, and also not going to the motor. So that's cool. Of course, when it's engaged, though, closes the circuit, connects these two wires, and then the power goes from, you know, the wall plug along this brown line into the board right there. And then we've got power going probably all over the place. That looks like neutral, I think. It appears to go to almost nothing. No, it jumps a spark gap or something right there. That might be live. It's down here, goes around there. Okay, yeah, because I'm looking for an obvious ground, and I don't see one just yet. Well, I'm also not looking that hard. So, we've got a few boards here, all of which might have different voltages and stuff coming off of them. I'm just hesitant on where to start, because once I plug this in, you know, the whole system's live, right? And I can't, and I can't really do any testing without exposing myself to wall power, right? So I'm even more hesitant to continue the whole experiment here. Looking at all these connections to see where we might pull 12 volts from. That's that, and that goes to the micro switch, the drawer sensor, I should say, to tell this thing to not run the motor or anything, even if these two are tripped, even if that circuit's closed. And this guy here, of course, controls the forward and back, manual forward and back, I should say. This connector here, you can see it, I'm pointing to it. That does our paper sensing. This guy, forward and back. That right there is the drawer sensor, and this right here is responsible for motor power, speed, etc., etc. That's also AC for sure. We got a white line, we got a blue line. Don't see a brown, but I see a black right here, the yellow and all that. It might be a mix of DC and AC going to this thing, but just looking at the harness on it and how it kind of goes in. Yeah, that looks like AC. Pure AC. Okay. Well, that kind of sucks, but just kind of is what it is, right? There is hope for this, however. As stupid as it is, we could just put LEDs in here anyway and power them independently, or we can just pull wall power straight off this guy, which I am not a fan of. I don't want to do that. I I did that with a turntable that we can take a look at later. That's quite dangerous. More or less, I took the RF shield off of the board in a turntable that has a metal platter, and I put the AC to DC wall wart in it. So like the box that plugs into the wall to give it the different voltage for the preamp. I essentially took that apart, and on the board for the turntable, I just kind of spliced it in and hot glued it all down, and it has a metal platter, right? There's no RF shield over it, so the the AC voltage will talk to you a little bit. So when you put a record on it and you're creating static with the rubber mat and the vinyl disc, you can usually get a pretty decent shock off of that metal platter. And also the sound changes whenever you touch the metal platter too. So that's super great. Very safe turntable. It's one of my least favorite projects I've ever done. I didn't have any way to fabricate an RF shield. I didn't have any tin or anything on me, or I would have done it. But it works. It's just kind of terrible. Let's check chat. What's up? He has the most hot takes if you follow him on Twitter. Ben Heck does. I don't follow him for his politics. That's for damn sure. That should be ground. White and brown are almost always ground. Wish there was a universal standard for wiring. Yeah, for AC, there usually is, but it gets kind of funny. Red and black should also be positive and negative. Yep. Yep. In a DC only world. Yeah, it's just that's a mix of colors, and I think we've got both AC and DC kind of happening here. And that's not the kind of thing I was expecting. I was expecting something more like a I was expecting more something along the lines of maybe a printer-esque motor that maybe runs at 12 or more volts, and it just has like a really good gearing system to get this guy to do the shreddy thing. However, we don't have that. We have this. So pretty much I'm just going to put this guy back together in just a minute. I'm going to think about it a little bit. What I could do, like I said, is, like drill a hole in this cover, mount the LEDs on there anyway, and then power them independently. I'm not entirely opposed to that, but I'm not a super huge fan of it either, because it kind of makes it a little more complicated. Ooh, I know what I could do. Absolutely. What I could do is put a micro USB port on the back around here. Whoop. Put a micro SD port around the back so that I could have the option of plugging in the LEDs or not and just leave them in there. That could work. That's probably what we'll do. It makes it a little more independent from the machine, which is, both. It's got its positives and negatives, right? Because I wanted it to all be one unit. But it feels like a pretty good compromise, right? I think so, at least. Because all the RGB LED driver needs. Whoops. All that guy needs, this one right here, all it needs is power. 5 volts. And that would work. I could just plug in a good old micro USB cable with a wall wart attached to it, and I'd have my RGB LEDs. I would have to manually toggle them or leave them on all the time, which, again, not as ideal as I would like, but it's doable. I don't really have a huge problem with that. Okay. I suppose I can put the shredder body back in here and then figure out how I would place that micro USB port, because it's going to be kind of funny. I'm going to have to build up like a little mountain of hot glue on the side and balance it on there, and then I'm going to have to cut a hole in the back, like a little slit with a Dremel. But that's not horrible. That's not too bad. I can do that. What else we got? Red and black should be fine. Okay, so we're caught up on chat. I can't see it from across the room. I'm kind of fucked. Y'all ever get old? Let's see here. That little bushing looks to go right about there. Hello. That little bushing appears to go right about there. It's not fighting me too much on getting it on there, I don't think. Okay, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Kind of sucks I don't know exactly where that bushing goes. It might just go on the bottom of the shredder somehow. I don't think it did, though. I don't think I saw any studs for it to rest on. No, I sure don't see any. Also, this looks clean, this post here. So it might have just been on there the whole time. Is there any fuzz on the inside? No, that ring is pretty clean too, so perhaps that is where that guy went. Something rested on that too. Some type of groove. Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at the bottom of the shredder as we get ready to put it back together. Making sure I know where all of this stuff is supposed to go. I don't know if I don't think that bushing goes right there. That's stressing it too much. This guy was just kind of sitting in there sideways, and he's greasy as fuck. Look at him. Look at the boy. Ah. Look how they massacred my boy. God damn it. Alright, there's grease all over the wires too, so I'm kind of thinking that these bushings went on the side right there. Especially with all the grease. Because look, it kind of seems to match, right? Kind of looks like that guy was sitting right here at the edge. Am I missing something here? Let me look at the underside of the case too. Yeah. Okay, we found where our bushings go. We're good. We're good. There should be more than just the 3 we have. There should be 4. Minus the fucking greasy boy. Why is there so much grease on this boy? Why? I know it would have to go on the shredder itself, but it's like really sticky grease. It's not even touching any of the mechanical parts. It's just getting gunk all over the paper and shit. That's, is that grease too? Yeah, that's grease too. So I guess this guy would have went right about there. Alright. Alright there, bud. Now, where's our other grommet? Huh? Guess they just put, not enough grommets on there. Which is possible, right? Get out of here. Okay. Alright. Gently flip it. Firmly grasp it! Okay. I don't know where that other grommet went, and I'm sure it will turn up at the least opportune time for it to do so. Let's try and set this guy back in here where it belongs. I'm going to have to flip it to make sure it lines up. So I really can't see that well. There we go. I think we got it. That feels right. Yeah, it's not wiggling around too much. Okay. Still missing a grommet, though. That makes me a little nervous. See if I can lift the whole unit. I don't see it. Okay. Maybe this maybe this shredder just shipped without one of its grommets. Possible, I guess. Okay. Alright, so here's the good news, right? The way this is set up, look at all this room we have back here for putting a micro USB jack. That's perfect. We got tons and tons of room. We got room for days. So that makes it really easy to wire up. the micro USB, we'll drill a hole in this cover here after we dust things off a bit. And then we can start looking at rigging up our LEDs. The only thing I'll have to do is not kill our RGB LED boy. What I would also like to do as we put this back together is make sure that I put all the zip ties and stuff back that I had to cut. Because I don't want these wires getting stuck in that fan, you know? Alright, see a few new chat messages. Let's have a look. You can also test the voltage it draws with the multimeter. I have a kilowatt I could use for that. It's going to draw 120 volts. But let's see what it draws. Yeah, I could check and see what it draws with the multimeter, but between me and y'all, I just don't want to fuck with wall power as much as possible tonight. So it always tends to get you when you least expect it. As careful as I am. I do not enjoy fucking about with wallpaper, with wall power. Wallpaper? No. There we go. Is that right? No, that's definitely not right. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. There we go. All right, making sure we got our orientation right there. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, let me kind of move this. I'm gonna pull this guy up a little bit. Refocus. Bear with me for just a moment, please. There we go. So then the idea is put a hole back here for our micro USB connector. We drill a hole in this guy. That's where our vent is. Okay, so that's where all the shit gets blown around. That's perfectly fine, right? Situate that back in there. What was that resting on? Nothing? No, it was sitting like that. Yes. Okay, good. Get this boy back in there. And then we can probably drill a hole. Probably drill a hole right here. Run our wires wherever we need them to be. Which, like I said, I don't want to go over this vent or anything, but I can totally pop a couple spots for our wires to run around here and then, you know, wherever they need to go. Or, since there's a lot of space down here, plug in our micro USB at the back, run the wires up to the front, drill a hole, and then just put a couple of strips up here, which I think is going to be our move, because I can do them in series if I do that. So I could drill a hole here, come up, go to one RGB strip, come around to the end, more wires, more wires, come around to a second RGB strip, come across here to finish. That's what's looking like our best bet at the moment. That seems like a solid bet to me. Before I do that, god damn it, one of the fucking grommets just fell out. Let me grab that guy, see if I can find the other one while I'm looking down here. Good news, I don't see another grommet. Maybe this one just shipped with 3. I don't know how bad the Staples QC is. Alright, what I would like to do is seal this guy back up and make sure it still works and I haven't fucked anything up too bad. Yeah, and this was behind here with one of those screws. Okay, just making sure I can remember where everything goes. Nope, not like that. Like that. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we're going to put this guy back together real quick. I'm going to make sure it works so we don't spend all this time and effort building something that might not work. I know it sucks and it's going to be a little bit boring, but it's necessary. Like I said, we're kind of looking for a triumphant victory here, not some trash fire that ends in smoke and disappointment. Alright. wires back in here. Got those two, and then this clusterfuck of wires. I'm just gonna pack them back in here. Single file if possible. There we go. Everybody see? Cool. I'm doing pretty okay with the camera tonight. This arm is working much better than the chest-mounted thing ever did. Also, having the stream in the same room makes things a lot easier. If y'all can't tell, I moved the workbench into the streaming room. Can't remember if I posted about that or not. That should be enough to keep the cables out of the way, but I'm probably going to go ahead and do something. I'll probably zip tie them down or something like that, because when I fold this over, it's not going to get in the way of the cables, I don't think. Yeah, I'm going to zip tie these together right about there, which means I'm going to need my zip ties. Let me go grab those real quick. I know right where they are, thankfully. No idle this time. Use a true red shredder, you use a true red zip tie. Right? That's how that works. Go. Cool. Alright, it ain't pretty, but it'll do. Looks like it's keeping the wires out of the way of the fan here. Wild to think that that's a fan. Holy shit. Oh, there's our grommet. There's our last grommet. I just found it. Nice. Ah, and the other one fell out again. Shit. Come on. Am I going to have to hot glue those in? I don't see any harm in doing so. A bitch will. Because, like, yeah, like, what happens if these fall out and they get stuck in the fucking shredder? Anybody think of that? Jesus. Gently. Gently. There we go. Feels like things are lining up. Sort of, at least. The logger? There we go. Oh, there we go, mate. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Check her out. Oh, well, mate. You check her out there, mate. Oh, wow. Oh, this goes over the back, doesn't it? No, it goes inside. Okay. It's just not quite where it needs to be is all. I know y'all can't see anything. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure we're doing our due diligence here to maintain safety on one of the touchiest platforms now. No thanks to copyright holders and people of the sort. Okay, there we go. Alright then, mate. Check her out. Kind of like a double-edged sword if I ever seen one. Oh, is that about right? Yeah, that's about right. Okay. That's going back together pretty well. It's a little off balance. One of those grommets must have fallen out or something. Okay. Let me look in here, make sure we're clear on the blades. Yes, it appears so. Good. I'm going to put, I guess, all of our screws back in, right? Is this how we had it oriented? I think it is. It's not like it matters, like all these screws are the same size. So that's fine. Yeah, this thing being off balance kind of worries me a little bit. Hang on just a second. Let me open this back up and see where our grommets are. If they keep falling out, I'm going to hot glue them in. Yep. We lost one. We lost one. Sitting right there. Let me try and put them on the posts they belong on. Just do it that way. So it should line up a little bit better. Okay. Still clear on the fan. As far as I can tell, anyway. Y'all have a look and tell me. We clear? Looks clear. Lost a grommet. God damn it. Grommets suck, bro. This is the worst part of the project so far. There it is. Here. Get back on there. Okay. Once more around the sun. Okay, alright. That's settling a lot better than it did before. Just gonna kind of keep it pressed down while I put these screws in there. Not gonna put all of them back in yet. Just enough to be able to flip this thing back over, put it back in the carriage, and plug it in for a moment. Maybe run a sheet of paper through it. All these screws are the same size. It doesn't matter where I put them at this point. I should probably put more than just 4 screws in here, man. I'm holding back the fury of shredder blades. I don't want to fuck with those. Kind of like Skrillex. His name looks like knives. Not cross-threading that, am I? No. Okay, thank fuck. It's just a stubborn screw. Alright, get in there. Oh, get in there, bud. There we go. Alright, I'm going to probably put these 4 in there as well for the actual shredder support. Seems a little necessary. Yeah, that's easy enough. I should probably get a mechanical screwdriver at some point, but the problem with a mechanical screwdriver is that they're so fucking loud. They whine. You know? Kind of like me when I haven't eaten. I'll admit it. I think everybody should. That'd be a quote for the ages. Everybody should whine. Ryan, 2021. Alright. We got enough screws in there for me to feel okay about putting this guy back together. Just giving it a good shake. I'm giving it a fair shake. Alright. Let's put it back in the carriage. Let me pull back out. Probably going to have to refocus, but I'll just give it a minute. Okay. Gentle in lowering this down. I'm being careful to mind the blades. I think everything's good. Oh. Yeah, this is not going to be graceful. That's for sure. Get in there. There we go. There we go. You get back up there. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we're getting there. Sits on those. This sits on those. Come on. Oh, she's bashful. There we go. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta smack it. Okay. That should be it. Y'all, we shouldn't have any problems with this guy. Plug her in. We got power. And it's complaining about the drawer. That's fine. Where's the drawer? Where's the drawer? Here it is. good to me. Let me get a piece of paper or something. We can shred the backboard of this command strip packaging. Let's have a look at that. Whoop. This guy here. Sounds good to me. Okay. Switches still work. I love that physical disconnect in the back. That just absolutely kills it. I love that. Okay. Let's unplug it while it's on. There we go. I want to try and get some of that power drained from it. Okay, so that worked. That worked perfectly fine, as we can see, as evidenced by the junk and the waste drawer. Okay, I think we're clear to proceed with what we were thinking about doing. Let's put some LEDs in this guy. I'm going to need some parts from my little parts drawer in just a second, but everything else looks fine. Yep, there we go. And yep. There we go. It sure doesn't come apart gracefully, that's for sure. It's got clips and shit, one of which I believe is now broken, but such is the price of using snap clips. There we go. Okay. Let's get the body of the shredder out of the way again. Okay. Alright. And we're home. Cool. Let me focus again, just to make sure. That looks pretty good. I'll focus again anyway. There we go. Sweet deal. RGB. Thanks, Zedbert. Is that guy still plugged in? Let me see how we're doing on battery power. We might be getting kind of low. Hello? Yeah, we're running down a little bit. Might have to change cameras here in just a little while. Turn off the LED for right now, I guess. That could help a little bit. Turn off. There we go. That's not too bad. It hasn't made a huge difference. Okay. Wow. Alright, sweet. Let's take this apart again. How we doing, chat? Can't really see. The Wi-Fi at the hotel I'm at is hot garbage. Yeah, Wi-Fi at the hotel I'm at is hot garbage. Yeah, it often is. It often is. I actually brought my gaming computer a couple times on a couple of business trips when I worked IT for one of the banks. What were we playing back then, man? It wasn't anything crazy. I want to say I was just playing CSGO for a bit. Yeah, no. I fired up Crysis 2 or 3 and I was playing online with people for a little bit, and my ping was fucking terrible. Absolutely horrible. I would be cloaked, running around, and people were hitting me with headshots like they could see me because the ping was so bad that I actually appeared uncloaked for a good while until I would just randomly cloak while I was running around. Really fucked me up. And another one. Whoop. Yeah, it's wild to hear about fucking Danny being a bit of a fucking creep, but I guess it makes sense, right? Like, you look at the work that Ninja Sex Party does. I don't think Brian had a hand in it, but yeah, no, just weird vibes altogether, and super fun because Dan revealed himself to be a furry. I don't know whether or not that was actually like a whole ass thing or not, but then comes the grooming of the young fans, which is just a whole fucking thing. A lot of YouTubers are fucking monsters. Well, we had Carson, Noah from Lunch Club now. At least Ted is still the goodest boy. Remember Ted's statement on Carson? He was just like distancing himself. He was openly saying like, I'm distancing myself from call me Carson, etc., etc. There was an air of Ted being genuinely actually pissed at Carson, which you would expect, right? But a lot of these people tend to defend their friends. Glad that wasn't the case. That's Ted Nivison, by the way. Alright, so we're back kind of where we started. With a working shredder. Shitload of mess on it, but that's fine. I'm going to put y'all on idle for just a moment. Yeah, let me get my panel. There we go. Put you on idle for just a moment. I'm going to go grab my micro USB connectors and the Dremel, and I will be back in just a moment. Currently running a speed test. I don't think even Aaron knew that he was grooming. If Gerard turns out to be a creep, I'm done. Fair. Gerard is also the goodest boy. He's been through a lot of shit, man. I really hope Gerard's okay. Because that whole thing with Greg really fucked him up. Fucked up the whole team, it seems like. Man, fuck Greg Wilmot. Separated from the completionist, and then he was just like, oh, man, take my name out of all of your shit. And it was years and years and years and years and years of content that they made together. So Gerard, thankfully, this is just for people who aren't aware. Cody, you definitely are. Zed, if you're watching, you probably are too. So Gerard kind of said, like, okay, yes, I'm going to delete all of the content that I made with Greg, and I'm going to start over, essentially doing Completionist New Game Plus, where he plays some of the older games that he played, completes them just the same, and, yeah, that's just kind of the deal. It's really cool. As far as I know, it's been going well. I think I'm subscribed to him, but I'm just not getting notifications because YouTube is fucking broken, of course. Okay, really quick, while I've got you here, we've got our micro USB connector here with the pin out on the back. What I'm thinking is going to be the easiest, let me find my controller here, there we go, is if I just, because there's only power going into this, there's no RGB control lines going into this at all, if I just lop this off, put my voltage and ground on this from the connector, and run it along here and up through a hole in the cover here, then I can just run the LEDs off of that. And I can affix my controller up here, sort of like this. Connect that, put a strip here, run it there. I can probably just fold the strip, but I'm not going to do that because it's going to be tacky. Fold that, run it over here, and then we should be good to go. So this is, it's put together pretty well. There's not a whole lot of ways this can go wrong. You know? So we're going to start working on that here in just a moment. The next thing I need to do really quick is go ahead and cut a hole for the micro USB connector at the back. And I don't really have any way to mark it. I don't have a really clean way to do this. Essentially what I'm thinking is I'm going to take a Dremel with a wheel on it or a milling bit. Let me see how many milling bits I have. Because if I can just use like a router tip to cut out a hole for it, I'll probably just do that. Yeah. I have one, but I have to change the collet real quick. That's not a biggie. This isn't great for plastic, but it'll be fine. Just a moment. That's about as tall as it needs to be. Check it out. So this bit here, whoops, this bit here you can't really see, so it's not going to focus, is about as tall as this guy here. See what I mean? It's more or less the same size when I put them right up next to each other. Like, look at this. This will actually go inside the connector a little bit. Sits right in the front, pretty flush. So if I just dig this guy into the plastic and wibble it around left and right, we've got a hole for our micro USB. And then as far as giving it a base to rest on, I'm probably just going to build up a glob of hot glue and have it just encased in there. For fuck's sake, it's an RGB shredder. I don't have to put a whole lot of science into it, you know? Okay, let me get the Dremel. It's going to get loud as shit. Adjust your speakers accordingly. Let me make sure I think I have to change collets. That's fine. That is not a biggie. I'll get this over here so y'all can see what I'm doing. Got this fat boy here. I think I have to change collets. Pull this guy out of here. Yeah. Let me get a smaller collet that'll fit this. Big, medium. There we go. That should be about the right size, right? Yeah, perfect. Okay, good. Good. Oh, whoops. Gotta loosen that up a little bit, dummy. There we go. Alright, let me tighten that down. Let me bring that down a little more. I don't think I'm on the treads, am I? No, perfect. Okay. Cool. Okay. Alright, like I said, it's about to get loud. About this loud. And then a little louder once I actually start cutting. I want to give y'all a heads up. Cleanest way I can think to do this is to sit this up on the cage, the case. Lean it up if I can. There we go. and then point the camera at this as best I can. There we go. That just might do it. Whoops. There we go. That's not so bad. Oh, that's not so bad. Alright. So we're going to aim for right about here. Right in here is where we're going to put it. How are we looking on chat? You could also use a slipper bit? A stepper bit on a drill. Yeah, I have a stepper bit somewhere. I lost the thing ages ago. I used to have a stepper bit set and all that, but the one that I really liked, I lost, and it was chewed up too. So I'm gonna get another set soon. I need to just audit all my tools and get some more bits and things of the sort. Lord knows I've broken stuff and I'm missing stuff and wore stuff out over the years. All right, let's do it. It's gonna be loud. Just a heads up. If you have your stuff turned up, if you have your volume turned up, you might want to turn it down. I'm giving y'all a second, headphone users. I love y'all. I'm a headphone user myself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not quite as clean as I would have liked. I think we might have to clean this up a little bit. Should be able to fit that in there just about. Oh, thereabouts, bud. It's close. Let me clean this out with my tweezers real quick, actually. There we go. Alright, that's not too bad. I know I have a bump on there I didn't mean to really put in there, but it'll do, right? Okay, let me get that connector again. That's not too shabby. It actually kind of rests in there if I press it a little bit. That side is a little tight. Let me see if I can shave that out with the tweezers here, because I think there's just some junk on it. Some, what's it called? I know the actual name for this, and I can't remember what it is at the moment. It's the same thing as like record fluff. Yeah, that's perfect. That's not bad at all. Nice. Could be a little cleaner, but you know. All right, so there's our connector, everybody. It ain't super clear, but you can definitely see it. It's not there. Now it's there. And it actually rests in there pretty well. The only concern now is clearance. Let me find a micro USB cable, because we might have to shave down the outside with like a barrel sander. I would probably shave down the inside, actually. It'd be a lot cleaner. Let's see. I got micro USB cables for days, bro. Yeah. This will work. This is a pretty good example of a fat-ended cable. Okay, so let's put our port back in there. Let's orient that guy properly. Oops. Can we plug it straight in without much fuss? Let me tighten that against it. There we go. Ooh, that guy doesn't want to plug in at all. Hello? There we go. Yeah, that's a tight little connector, but why isn't that one side going in? Oh, it's because it's not sitting in there, actually. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not bad at all. I still want to shave down the back of it a little bit though, because that connector ain't very tight. Yeah, no, that's not as nice as I would like it to be. Let me bust out the barrel sander real quick, and I'll just kind of take some off the back of this plastic. That's going to get away from me a little bit. I might want to use that little cone bit that I have. Let me use that instead. Okay. We're going to go back to Loudland for a moment. I think I have to change collets again. Yeah, I do. Okay, shit. Put our other collet back in here. Whoops. Whoops. Don't go anywhere. A lot of these bits are for wood, but I use them for plastic here and there. Doesn't seem to hurt them at all. I've used a few of these bits on metal and totaled them out. All right. Once again, it's going to be loud for a moment. Okay? I'll try to get this around here where you can see it, but it's not going to do. 2, 1.